Yeah, good morning, guys. I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. So now, guys, my name is Samir, and I'll be your faculty for this. Okay. Azure Databricks. Okay, with the PySpark, and I have around 10 years of experience, and on the cloud since the past 3.5 years, I'm working on to this. Okay, so that's it, guys, about my profile, and let's start the introduction, and then if you have any doubts, we can discuss it. Okay, then after. So
Okay,
guys,
sir.
now when it comes to this Azure, so guys, what do you mean by basically the Azure? See, basically the Azure is nothing but Azure is the name. Azure is the name provided by the Microsoft to market their cloud products. To market their cloud products, Azure has provided with the name called what? That is Microsoft has provided with the name called what? Azure. So the name called what is that? Azure is provided. The name called Azure is provided by the Microsoft to market their cloud products. And what is that? You have it data. What is my data? Data means what, guys? What do you understand by the word called data? Data is nothing but what? Information. Some information. Okay. Information is called as what? Data. Information is called as what? Data. So we have what's Azure data. Then engineering. Engineering means what? Generally, engineering means what? Application of various techniques. Application of what? Various techniques. So now understand it together. Azure data engineering means what? Azure is the name provided by the Microsoft to market the cloud-based products, and data is nothing but the information, and engineering is nothing but technique. So application of technique on the data by using the Microsoft. Getting my point? Application of technique on the data by using the Microsoft product, that is called as the Azure. Getting my point? Azure data engineering. So Azure data engineering is a complete end-to-end solution provider for the following jobs. Okay, end-to-end solution provider for the following job. What is that? The first one is what, guys? Everyone, Azure data engineering is an end-to-end provider. What is that? End-to-end. There is nothing but provider of the services. What are the services it provides, guys? It provides the service called what? The first one is, guys, the first one and the foremost one, we can say what's that? Data migration. Data migration. Okay. Then next one you have what's the data integration. Data migration, data integration, and then you have data, guys, data migration, data integration, then you have data summarization, then you have the data visualization, data summarization, data visualization, etc. Data migration, data integration, data summarization, and data visualization, and etc. These are all the, anyways, apart from this, many more are there, but these are some of the very important things you have it in the Azure data engineering. Okay, guys, what is that? Data migration, data integration, and what is it? Data summarization and data visualization. These are some of the techniques provided here into the, these are some of the techniques provided here in the Azure data engineering. That means in the Azure data engineering, we can perform the following jobs. Yes, guys, everyone. So that's it, guys. Okay. Now the next one after this. The next one after this. Okay, guys. So next, when we talk about the cloud, guys, before you see this, we should also understand one more point. That point is called as what? What is a cloud? And what is on premises? Yes, you should understand these two. Once you understand these two, then rest of the things will become easier for you. Tell me now, guys, what in my cloud and what in my on premises? Yes, guys. Any idea? Okay, I'll explain you. Don't know worries. Now, can you see here? We have the on premises and we have the cloud. These are the two things we have it. Guys, all of you are using the mobile phone or not? Tell me. We all use the mobile phone or not?
Yes, sir.
So when we use the mobile phone, everyone, when we use the mobile phone, so or whenever we buy a mobile phone, whenever you buy a mobile phone, by default, when you purchase a mobile phone, with every mobile phone, you will get an inbuilt, you will get an what's it inbuilt memory. Have you observed it? By default, you will get what's it inbuilt memory with every mobile phone. Am I right, guys? You will get an inbuilt memory with every mobile phone. That means up to some extent of data you can store in the same. Am I right? Up to some extent of the data you can store into that. So we can say that the inbuilt data can be stored here. Okay, can be stored here in a mobile phone. But whereas, does it have any limitation or not? Tell me. That means you can store up to a limited extent, not the whole data. Am I right or not? Suppose you bought a mobile phone and your mobile phone has a memory of, yes, guys, your mobile phone has a memory of, let us say, 16 G or 15 GB is there. That means you can store the data up to the maximum of 15 GB. You can store the data to the maximum of what is it? 15 GB, but not beyond the 15 GB. Am I right or not, everyone? Yes, guys. You cannot store it beyond the 15 GB. You cannot store it beyond the 15 GB. So that's the maximum limitation you have it. But if at all you require to store the data more than 15 GB, what's it you'll do? You will try to install an SD card. Am I right or not? You will try to install an ScanDisk card, SD card. And SD card is, let us say, the size of the SD card is also 32 GB. Now, even this 32 GB is full now. Totally, how much data you have it? 47 GB. Totally, you have what's it? 47 GB is full now. But now there is another question that now you have to, guys, everyone, now you have to install. Now you have to install. Now you have to install, everyone. Now you have to install or you have to load some 500 GB of the data into your mobile phone. You have to load some 500 GB of the data into the mobile phone. Now tell me, if you want to load 500 GB of the data into your mobile phone, if you want to load 500 GB of data into your mobile phone, is it possible? Because the current size is what? 47 GB only. And this 47 GB, yes, 47 GB is full. So now, if you want to store the data, more 500 GB, is it possible for you to store the data more 500 GB? Guys, please tell me now. No, not possible. For that, what we do is we take the Google Drive. Am I right or not? But whereas, what about the Google Drive? What is the default memory provided for the Google Drive? It is only 15 GB. But I have to store how much GB of data here, guys? Tell me now. What's the amount of GB I want to store it? 500 GB. That means totally I wanted to store 500 GB is this data. Okay. Apart from the regular data, which I have it as 47 GB in the mobile phone. So in this case, what we do generally when this is the situation arises, we go with the Google Drive. But whereas Google is providing only 15 GB, what about rest of it? You can pay the cost to the Google. You can pay the cost to the Google, guys, everybody. You can pay the cost to the Google and you can ask the Google to increase the size. To increase the size, guys, okay? To increase the size. Okay. So that means up to the whatever extent you have, up to the whatever it may be the extent you have it, up to whatever it may be the extent you have it, up to that level you can take up the same. Okay, up to that level you can take up the same. That means whether you have that is nothing but if you want 900 GB or okay 900 TB or PIB, whatever the amount of data you want to store it, there is no limitation. Simply you can request your cloud provider to provide it and he will provide it. So here the thing is that you can store up to whatever the extent you want, you can store the data. That is the advantage of the, what is the advantage of what's it? Saving the data onto the cloud environment. Whereas Google Drive is your cloud environment, I can say, guys. Google Drive is your cloud environment, whereas your mobile phone is your mobile phone and the mobile phone data is called as what is it? On premises. Why it is called as like that? Because see, guys, you lost your mobile phone, which you have some data in it, and you lost your mobile phone. Now, when you get it back, unless until you get back, can you recover the data? Yes, guys. Unless until you get it back, can you recover the data stored in the mobile phone? Not possible. So we can say that There is no possibility of getting back the data once it is lost in case of mobile phone. In case of what is that? Mobile phone. Whereas if the data, if your device is lost, no problem. Simply if the data is there in Google Drive, you just log in, you just try to log in with the same mail ID and get the whole data. So that is possible here basically. Am I right? And when it comes to the security, who is responsible for securing your data? Ultimately, the Google is responsible when you store the data into the Google Drive. If you store it into the mobile phone, then you have to give some passwords, etc., etc. Anyways, which can be okay, which we can break it at any point of time. Okay, which we can break it at any point of time. So that's the thing you have it. In the same way, guys, when it comes to the access, so anywhere from the world, you can access the data. Anywhere from the world, you can access the data whenever the data is stored into the Google Drive. Whenever the data is stored into the Google Drive here, okay. That means the data is not local to only your system or somebody's system. You can access the data from anywhere from the world. That is nothing but the three reasons why we go for the that is nothing but cloud. So, but not to the on-premises. On-premises means what? My local PC, guys. This is my PC. This is my PC, and my PC has some data. Can you see here, all of you? Simple example. My PC here is my PC, and my PC has some data here. All of you, I'm just sharing my desktop. See, having some data here. Just see, this is my data, and now this data I have it here. I have some data here. Can you see it? This data is local to my PC. You can't access this data. But here you have the data. Am I right or not? You have the data here in this my system. If at all I want to share this data with you guys, if at all I want to share this data with you, I require to put it under the Google Drive and provide you the access so that all of you can see this data. So hence right now this data is called as what? On-premises. And whenever you wanted to move the data from the on-premises to the cloud, guys, that is possible here. That is possible. We can move it. But whereas for that, we require the help of a services. Not for this Google Drive, basically. I'm talking about some official and good amount of data. Okay. We require it. That's it, guys. So here you have what's that? On-premises and cloud is that is nothing but the two things we require to know first. Okay. Then, guys, the next one you have it. What is an now, guys, Azure Databricks. What is Azure Databricks? Basically, Azure Databricks is nothing but this is one of the service, guys. Azure Databricks is one of the service. Azure Databricks is one of the service which is provided in order to perform the job of, yes, Azure Databricks is one of the service which is provided in order to perform the job of what is that? ETL, that is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. So, guys, here we can use what? The this nothing but Azure Databricks is nothing but this is a service. This is a service, guys. Azure Databricks is a service which is provided in order to perform the job of ETL, where the ETL stands for what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. So, guys, here you have the following. What is that? The ETL. What is that? You have it, guys. ETL. The Azure Databricks is a service which is provided in order to perform the job of ETL, where ETL stands for what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. Where this extraction, transformation, and loading requires two things. What is that? The first thing you require it as a source, and the second thing you require it as a target. Second thing you require it as a target. And between the source and the target, guys, we apply the process of ETL. And whereas ETL is nothing but this ETL is used for the purpose of what is the data summarization. Data summarization. So we can say that the ETL is used for the purpose of what is that? Data summarization. So whenever you wanted to summarize the data, guys, summarize the data, we go with what is that? Data summarization. And for the data summarization, we use the technique called what? ETL. That is called as what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. And this extraction, transformation, and loading requires the source and the target. Requires the source and the target. That's it, guys. Okay. And next after this, what is it? You have it? Yeah, guys. Next after this. Okay. What is it? You have it? Next after this. Uh, what is my data migration, guys? Data migration is nothing but whenever you have the data, can you see here? I have the data here on the desktop. This is my data. So this is my local to my system, or everyone can access this data. Can you tell me, guys? My question is that everyone.
It's
Are
local
you,
to your system.
yeah, it is local to my system. That means this data, whenever I wanted to move this data, or whenever I want this data to be accessed by all of you, I will try to move this data into the Google Drive. Am I right or not? So whenever I'm trying to move this data from the local system to the Google Drive, whenever you're trying to move the data from the whenever you're trying to move the data, whenever you're trying to move the data, or whenever you move the data, whenever you move the data from the whenever you move the data from the that is nothing but local system to the cloud environment, this process is called as a process of what? Data migration. It is called as what? Data migration. Getting my point, all of you? Data migration is a process of moving the data from the local system to the cloud environment. That's it. Okay. Okay, guys. So clear everyone, what is data migration? Okay, guys, everyone. And the next one is what's that? Data summarization. So what do you understand by the word called data summarization? Data summarization is nothing but it's a technique which is used to perform the job of ETL, that is called as extraction, transformation, loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading is a technique which is used to basically, guys, extraction, transformation, and loading. It is a technique which is used to perform the job of what is it? Data summarization. Used to perform the job of what? Data summarization. That's it. So now let us try to understand this. What is data summarization? Now, guys, all of you, yet suppose you wanted to cook a vegetable curry. Which curry you want to cook it? So for cooking the vegetable curry, guys, what is it you require? Can you tell me? For cooking the vegetable curry, what is it you require? First of all, you require the vegetables. Am I right? You require the vegetables. So for vegetables, to cook the that is a vegetable curry, you require to get the vegetables. So how do you get the vegetables, guys? Tell me now. All of you.
You need to go out and collect the vegetables.
Yes, we require to go outside and purchase it. So let us say you have been to the Reliance Fresh. You have been to the Reliance Fresh. How many type of vegetables you may have? You may find it at the Reliance Fresh store.
Many.
Many. So are you going to buy all those vegetables or only required by you?
Only required like whatever we like and we can be.
Definitely. Whatever you like and whatever is needed now to cook the curry. So I can say some tomato, okay, and then you have some, okay, some green leaves. Then I can say some, okay, that is nothing but, okay, etc., etc. Okay, some vegetables you have taken, but only, let us say, only 3 vegetables you have taken to cook the curry because that is your requirement. But here in the supermarket, guys, how many vegetables are there? How many vegetables are there in the supermarket? In the Reliance Fresh, you have many You have altogether, let us say, some 500 vegetables, different type of 500 vegetables are there. But out of those 500, you have chosen how many here? Only three. Okay. Yes, guys.
Okay.
Okay, you have chosen only three. Okay. You took even the live. So these are the lemon you have taken. That means only these three vegetables you have taken. So now it's done. So whereas, can you see here, from the list of 100 vegetables, you have choose only these three which is required by you. So whereas this is called as what? Source basically. Source means what? The source is where you have the whole data given in a detailed manner. Where whole data is given in a detailed manner. That means all the list of the vegetables are given here. In the source, all the list of the vegetables is given. From the source, you're taking only those records which is required by you. So now, from all the source, I took it, okay, some records, and this record is called as what? Extraction. It is called as what? Extraction, guys. It is a process where the required entities are chosen up, or required entities are taken up, required entities are chosen up here. That is called as extraction. Okay. Now, guys, once you have extracted, that is purchased it and bought home. Now tell me, are you going to eat them as it is in the raw form?
No.
Yes, guys,
No, we can't eat directly.
you can't eat directly. So for that, what you will do is you will try to, okay, you try to convert them into the form. What is that form? Once you get it here, the process of transformation starts. So what is my transformation? Transformation is another process where, guys, transformation is the another process where, okay, where what happens, the vegetables, whatever you bought it, so they are first washed. Then what? Washing, cleaning. Then what? Cutting. Then what's, tell me now? Chopping. Washing, cleaning, cutting, and chopping is done. So now, once it is done, are you going to eat as it is after washing, cleaning, cutting, and chopping, guys, or you have some further process will be there?
We have to cook.
Yeah, very good. So further, finally, is nothing but cooking. Cooking is done. Once the cooking is done, so now, guys, finally, cooking means what? The end of the process. I load the data. This is called as loading. Loading means what? Simply having it. Start eating. Okay. Simply start eating is nothing but the process of loading here. So here we can say in this process of extraction, transformation, and loading, here in this process of ETL, what you are doing it, we are picking up the vegetables, transforming them by, okay, cutting, chopping, etc., and finally loading the data into the, there is nothing but finally we are eating it. That means here eating is a process of loading. So now can you see here? This is how we perform the process of ETL. The same logic we apply it on the data. Now we will show an example. Just a minute, yes. 1 minute, I'll be back. Okay, guys, sorry. So next one now, guys. After this, your what's it? Washing, cutting, chopping, cooking is done. Everything this is called as ETL, guys. Extraction, transformation, loading. Now let us try to see the same thing into a practical way. Okay. So guys, what is it I wanted to do? Can you see here? Here I have a sales data is there. Sales data for supermarket is there. And out of the sales data, I require to find it out. What is the net sales amount? 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 Okay, so what's the net sales amount we require to find? But here, this is the data actually you have it. How the data is there? Now here you have the data. Following data is there. What's that? I have the product ID, the identification number of every product, because every product, one product is differentiated with the another product, but using an identification number. Am I right? Product ID. Then I can say rate, product quantity, QTY, and next one is date of sales. Okay, so can you see here you have a following. So that's it. So I can say product ID is 1, 2, 3. Product rate is let us say 100 rupees. Quantity sold, I can say. Quantity sold is 10. And date of sale is what? Let us take today's date, 17th 08 2023. Okay, 17 08 2023. And next one, we already have it. 1, 2, okay, 1, 3, 4. Rate is 200. And then you have the product quantity sold is 10. Same date. What is that? 17/08/2023. This guys, all of you. The next, I have one more row. 300. Quantity sold is 10. And the date of sale is what? 17/08/2023. This is the data you have it, guys, everyone. Okay. Now, this is the data of today's data. And again, I have one more data here. That is nothing but yesterday's data is also there, or yesterday's data. So here you have yesterday's data. So what was the date yesterday? It was 16th. It was 16th. It was 16th. That's it. Okay. These are all the data we have it. Okay. So that's it now. Now, guys, here we will require to find out the net sales amount. Now tell me how to perform the process first. To find out the net sales amount, guys, first of all, do we require the product ID is required? Tell me now, first of all. So to find out the net sales amount, we have to first of all identify what are the columns are needed here for that. So do you require the product ID? Net sales amount I want. But I'm not saying product-wise net sales amount. I want overall net sales amount. So if you say overall net sales amount, product ID is not needed. Simply I can say what's it? Rate is needed. Yes, I require the rate. Quantity sold is required. Yes, I require the
Yes.
quantity sold. Date of sales is required. Yes, we require the date of sales. So now, guys, out of all the columns, we have chosen only 3 columns. So this is called as a process of what is that? Extraction of data. It is called as what? Extraction of data. Extraction of data. Whereas, guys, whereas the extraction of data is done. Then afterwards, extraction of data. Then you have the next one. What is it? You have it? Extraction of data. The next one is transformation of data. Now, transformation is the actual process. Transformation is the actual process where the summarization takes place here, guys. What is it? Where the summarization takes place. That is called as a transformation. So, for example, here, summarization is nothing but tell me now. Product rate now. What is the rate of the product, guys? Tell me now. 100 rupees. And what is the quantity sold is 10. So, 100 into 10 means what? Tell me now, guys. 100 into 10 means what?
10,000.
1,000. 1,000 now.
Yeah.
1,000. Guys, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, guys. So now here you have what's that? 1,000. The next one, what is it you have it? Tell me now. Next thing, what's that you have it? Okay, guys. So now here you have what's it? The next one. You have the product ID is 134 and the rate is 200 and the quantity is 10. So now, guys, but in the extraction process, I took only what rate. So what is the rate you have it? The rate is 200 and the quantity sold is 10. So 200 into 10 means what? Tell me now what is the official calculation you have it? Yes, guys. 200 into 10 means what? 2,000, na?
2,000. Yeah.
Next one, 300 into
3,000.
10. 3,000. Very good. So now totally. Can you see it? I'm just doing it fastly because step by step, anyways, you don't require to do that because it's a very simple one. So finally, what is the net amount you can say here, guys? The net amount is 3,000.
6,000.
So I can
6,000.
see here loading. So how do you load it? Loading is this process. Now it starts here. In the loading process, how many columns are required here? I'm giving net sales amount, net sales amount, and next one is what is DOS, that is called as date of sales. I can say the net sales amount is 6,000. And now, guys, the date of sales is what? 17/08/2023. That's it. Okay, now? Yes, guys, this is the data you have it. In the same way, the second day's data here also. I can say the same thing because the values are same, na? The values are same. I can say here, this is also 6,000. And here also it is
16.
16/08/2023. Or else if you reduce this or if you increase this, the values also changes here. 200 into 20 means what? 4,000. No? 4,000 means what? Totally here 8,000. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's it. So this is how. Can you see here, guys? The 6 lines data I have summarized into what? Different way. This is the technique we follow it here. That is called as extraction, transformation, and loading technique. We follow it here to perform the same job. Okay, guys, everyone is clear or not?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So now this process we are going to perform it here by using the Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks is nothing but here basically it is provided with the 4 different languages you can use it. That is Python, R, and then you have what is that? Scala and SQL. These are the 4 different languages we can use it here. Okay. Python, R, Scala, and SQL. So Python, R, Scala, and SQL. These are the 4 different languages. Python, SQL, Scala, and R. These are the 4 different languages we can use it onto the application of the Azure Databricks, guys. Onto the application of what? Azure Databricks. Whereas here we are going to see the specially on the PySpark. Okay, what is that? PySpark is nothing but this is the combination of Python and the Spark. Okay. So the two things we combine it and we see the PySpark as a language to perform this particular job here. Okay. And the duration of this course will be as it is 60 hours. That's it, guys. Okay. 60 hours in the sense almost 2 months, you can say. Okay. 60 hours. And that's it. 60 hours is the course duration. And the classes will start, regular classes will resume back from tomorrow onwards. Okay. You can start attending the class from tomorrow. So tomorrow also the same time, that is 7:30. And that's it. And every day, every week, you will have the classes Monday to Friday. Saturday, you will not have the class, guys. That's it. Okay. So that's it, guys. Any other question if you have? And when it comes to my experience, I told you everything. And any questions if you have for me, you can please go ahead and ask me.
Hello, good morning, sir.
So,
Morning.
So, what are the prerequisites for this course?
Prerequisites is you should know the Python. Prerequisite, you should know the Python. Okay. And if you know the Python, then it's fine. Or else we will, anyways, I'll give you the basic introduction about the Python and all, which is required to, okay, understand the process. So the Python basic commands also I'll tell you, so that easily you can do it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure. And knowledge of Azure isn't required, right?
That's not needed basically.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
sir, could you provide this material and all?
Material, yeah, material will be given to you definitely.
Okay, that will be end of the course or by
No,
weekly
starting
or
only.
daily? Okay, okay, sir. Awesome.
Yeah, starting will be given with the material so that you can have it anyways.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you everyone for attending. So we'll continue tomorrow at same 7:30. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.